Hi, this is Dr. Rodger Murphree, your FibroDoctor.com, author of Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. On today's Fibromyalgia Health Tip, I'd like to share some information that I think you'll find helpful in your quest to feel good again. You know, many of my patients, when they first start working with me, are suffering from low moods. And, you know, quite frankly, who wouldn't have low moods if you hadn't slept in years, had chronic pain, and had family members or even doctors accuse you for, being a hypochondriac. Sometimes people just don't understand fibromyalgia. It'd be easy to get down, right? So it's understandable that individuals with fibromyalgia could develop some low moods. When I'm working my patients with fibromyalgia, they often are already on antidepressants. So they're on selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors like Savella and Celexa and Lexapro, maybe on the Cymbalta, which is a selective serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. And those medications can be helpful, but not long term. What we know is that those medications are no better than a sugar pill 70% of the time. That's what the studies show. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your medications, but no one has an antidepressant deficiency. There is an alternative to taking antidepressants, and I go into great detail about this in my book, Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. So the very raw ingredients that you need to make the happy hormone serotonin actually comes from the foods that we eat. Unfortunately, those with fibromyalgia oftentimes have genetic glitches to where they can't turn the foods that they eat, these amino acids, the proteins that they eat, into serotonin and other neurotransmitters or brain chemicals. And so they're at a disadvantage. But there are things over the counter that you can take that actually make serotonin. One of those is a supplement called 5-hydroxytryptophan, which I've been talking about and writing about for 20 years. I use with my patients with fibromyalgia. But 5-HTP combined with magnesium, vitamin C, and certain B vitamins is actually what makes serotonin. It's where it comes from. And I like to use the analogy of a gasoline additive. So when you're taking an antidepressant, a prescription antidepressant, it's like using a gasoline additive. It's designed to help you hang on to the serotonin that you have. But it doesn't make serotonin. Same thing with a gasoline additive. It's designed to help you hang on to the gasoline that's in your gasoline tank, but it doesn't make gasoline. Well, using a gasoline additive in an empty gasoline tank doesn't do much, right? If you're running on fumes, which most people with fibromyalgia are after years of poor sleep and chronic pain, they're running on fumes. So if they're using a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor and there's nothing to reuptake because there's just nothing left in the tank, it's not going to do very much. So you can learn about 5-HTP and other amino acids that I use in my practice in my book, Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, available on Amazon.com and on my website, yourFibroDoctor.com, where you'll also find free resources, including videos and blogs and past teleseminars. So I encourage you to check out my website as well. This is Dr. Rodger Murphree, yourFibroDoctor.com.